everybody. This is Don with my wife Tina from the Vlog of Many Things. It is Christmas Eve, and my wife had the idea to do this video and talk a little bit about the history of Christmas. So, in the interest of being festive, let's
Ho,
talk
ho,
about
ho.
Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way. It's Christmas Eve. So, the history of Christmas, things you did not know about Christmas. Maybe you do. My wife threw a couple at me earlier I did not know.
Well, you know what? History of Christmas is a big topic. We could have went on for the history of Christmas all month long and not covered it all.
Now, I know all the bad things about Christmas, Krampus and all that for Europe, but you
But
threw some
okay,
things at me
Krampus
earlier.
was to make the kids behave, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, why did Krampus come about? To make the kids behave. Do you know the history behind that one?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I warned you. I said you're running this one.
well, okay. School teacher in me, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, so one of my friends, and you met one of my friends, Miss Corey.
Yeah.
Um, right before school got done, we picked up a storybook, and I used to have it memorized, like word by word, forever. I used to read it to the kids in
Hmm.
my classroom and our own personal kids. And you know what that story was, right?
Yeah.
'Twas the night before
Yep.
Christmas. Well, we had a little bit of fun reading it to the kids in the classroom. But part of me thought it should be older than what it was. A
Yeah, but
older
the older, scary version is not appropriate for developmental kindergarten.
But do you know when it really came about?
When's that?
In the early 1800s, this version did.
Makes sense. Victorian era.
Now, there's some controversy with this story. One that I read the other night was it was based on um, the Dutch and the old ways, and he was a farmer, so he copied like Santa from somebody he went by. But I have dug into that, so that's what I want to talk a little bit about. So
Have
you
at it.
ready? You gonna help me out some? So
Mm.
we know it as the night before Christmas or 'twas the night before Christmas. But did you know that's not what it was really called when it was first published?
Yeah, you told me earlier about that.
It was called A Visit from Santa. Actually, not Santa. I'm even missaying it. It was A Visit from St. Nicholas.
Yeah, Saint Nicholas. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't say Santa on the cover. It was St. Nicholas. And it was basically written or penned in about 1822. But
Okay.
it was first published in New York by um, a New York paper. I believe it was like the Troy paper in New York in 1823. And we all know who wrote it, right? You don't know the author of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
I'm letting you run this.
Hey, I need some help here. Okay, Clement Seymour or Clement Clark Moore, right? We all know that he was the one on the books that we all know, but it was anonymously published in 1823. It wasn't until the 1840s when Clement Seymour put it in a book edition and put his name to it. So before that, it was just a famous poem that was published anonymously in the newspapers.
Yeah, so it could have been him, could have been he just took it.
Right. Well, part of this, what I read, was from the Livingston family, said that it was not Clement Seymour, but all the historical evidence and stuff points to Clement Seymour. But he had a friend or somebody that he knew in the Livingston family. And they say it was written actually in 1808, but could have been them sitting around the fireplace and, talking about it, and then Clement Seymour writing it down. Could be.
Could be.
There's a lot of different things. But I thought it was very interesting that it was actually published in the US. I would have thought that this was the story from some other.
Yeah, but that's under Santa Claus. You know, because Santa has Chris is named is known as originally Krampus, Kris Kringle. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different names for him.
Right. So, what is the good Santa Claus name? Would you say St. Nicholas?
Well, yeah, that's historical.
Okay. So, um, what is your favorite name for Santa Claus? Santa Claus or something else?
I used to always call him Santa Claus.
Okay. Interesting. Because you know what? To get the classic version of Santa Claus, because you know how I like vintage things, the best pictures come up when I do St. Nicholas.
Yeah, because that's what he's known in Europe.
Right. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting on the history of our little famous book that we read every Christmas Eve. So, and then another thing. What was my other question? When did he get his red suit?
Well, I'd be cheating because you told me that earlier.
Okay, if you weren't cheating, when did he get his red suit? I dove deeper into this.
Well, the thing is I know that Santa and Saint Nicholas have been historically in many, many different robes and colors and such, but I know there's a background to the red color that you told me.
Yes. Okay. So historically, I don't know the historics of this, just from my reading based on the red suit.
Mm-hmm.
But what colors do you know him historically to have?
Well, everything from black to blue to green to red. I mean, red's the classic.
Without what I told you today, why is red classic?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just thought it was historically one of the colors he was put into.
It was. I mean, I haven't done a deep dive into all the suits, but the main gist I get is that because he was, it's based off of the culture and where you're located, what color suit he has. Now I kind of forgot about the black suit.
Now the classic Dickens tale says the Ghost of Christmas Past wore a evergreen colored robe, which some people loosely connect to Santa Claus, but that's Dickens. So
yeah, and I've read that the green color a lot, and as I have green on today, but red's not my favorite color.
Well, keep in mind one thing also is there are certain colors associated with royalty back historically.
Yes, and you
and
said his.
divinity. You know, the
Do you
cardinal
remember?
robes are red.
Right. The bishop's robes are red, so Santa's robe was red in one version. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, in America, though, and it wasn't until the 1930s when the red suit became ultra popular. Now, there was various colors, and we know in the 1800s and prior, Santa Claus was known as Saint Nicholas and everything else. But in one of the drawings of Saint Nicholas by artist named um, Thomas Nash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did him Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, as a classic red suit
Hmm.
for who knows what reasons why. But then in the 1930s, there was another artist that played off of Nash's version of Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, and copied that red suit. But in the 1930s, we know we had the Great Depression, and um, everybody was trying to drum up business. So
Oh yeah.
people, like business owners, one business owner created the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, put a red nose on him to drum up business at a store. And then eventually in I think it was 1960s, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer appeared. But I'm probably chopping this guy's name up, but there was a guy named with the last name of Sunbloom, I believe it was. Sundblom. And he was an artist, and he kind of popularized the red color suit from the 1930s to now to what we know as the famous red, jolly old red St.
Wasn't
Nicholas.
he an artist for Coke though?
Actually, with my research today, I thought he was tied to Coca-Cola, but um, he just made him, and Coca-Cola, because of I read today, because of the red in Coca-Cola, the red and
Hmm.
white bottle, or the clear bottle, that they used the red suit and it kind of went together. So even though I didn't read today that he worked with Coke, but he was used to his drawings were used to popularize Coca-Cola and the red suit, and so it kind of married in together because
Gotcha.
it was a big advertising kick. So Santa drinking the Coca-Cola and the red suit just became popular after that.
Hmm.
So, um, but like I said, that was during the 1930s and the big ads and um, things like that, and it just kind of basically did the popularity role, and it just became popular and popular. And now today, kids, you tell them, "Oh, Santa used to have a green suit," and they'll go, "Oh no, Santa has a red suit. You're wrong." Because and what to them is little kids a huge time. It's really a short time. Our grandparents were young in the 1930s
Oh
or
yeah.
just being born. If you're my age. My
Yep.
grandparents were 1921 and 22 and 1918, but
Hmm.
it was something in their teens, early 20s that became really popular. So,
So interesting info about Christmas.
interesting about Christmas.
So basically, it's Christmas Eve,
It's
and
Christmas Eve.
we'll be watching A Christmas Carol tomorrow. Big dinner tomorrow.
Yep.
You know.
And St. Nicholas will have his green robe.
Yep.
But the little St. Nicholas behind me in my little festive background is red. Pricey doesn't have a Coca-Cola in his hand.
Oh, Coke really manipulated Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So did Budweiser. But they both had red background color, so it worked well with them.
Yeah.
So, but a few facts about Christmas on Christmas Eve. We're going to be doing some changing, though. Also, just kind of let people know to the vlog of many things. The first of the year.
I think I was a great intro to it today for Christmas.
Yeah. Just let people know some of the things that we're going to be doing on the vlog of many things. The first part of the year is we're going to start getting more into some expanded subjects. We're going to start getting more into some political and social topics. We're going to look at them very middle of the aisle, kind of look at both sides of the issue, and kind of from, the problem with politics and social politics is, you have two sides. And you have two sides, two versions, but usually each side is not quite telling the straight of it. And, the truth of it kind of lies in the middle. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at different varying issues and points and things in the current news. We're going to be looking at both sides of the issue, and then we're going to kind of delineate that and marinate it down to what the truth of the matter is. I did that before, quite a few years ago, before I got really sick, and it was pretty popular online. Quite a few followers, and then I got ill and got away from it. And we're going to get back into that. I think we can only complain about Wizards of the Coast so much on the vlog of many things. We can only complain about OSR versus modern gaming so much, or talk about it, and we want to kind of get more into the current events of what's happening, because there's a lot going on in our country and in the world. And I really think that what we can do is we can talk about them like adults. We can look at both sides of the situation in a very neutral manner and come up with that middle ground, that I used to call the burden of truth. So that's what we're going to be hitting first part of the year in January. So I don't know how that's going to affect hosts. I don't know how it's going to affect people who want to be on the show, but we'll just wait and see. So,
well, you'll have me on there, especially if it's about a holiday.
It's about holidays. My wife will be there.
Yep.
So it is Christmas Eve, everybody. I hope everybody has a nice Christmas Eve and a nice Christmas. Hope you have a safe New Year. Our first vlog of many things is due to come out on the 2nd of January. The first New Year's Day falls on the 1st. So I don't know if we're going to have a New Year's Day one or it will be the 8th. But it'll be either the 1st or the 8th. I got to talk to my co-hosts and everything. So figure out what everyone's plans are. But my wife.
Oh, we have to see. We know Eric Tenkar does that get together Christmas or New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve he does. That's the 30th.
He does, and depends what you do on the 1st, because we may be all asleep if we stay up too late.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. So again, from me and my wife Tina here, Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
And hope everybody has a good new year. Stay safe. We're having an ice storm Christmas night tomorrow night.
Yep.
It's coming in a good old-fashioned Michigan ice storm. So the 26th, I'll be hunkering down and working on the new Wizard Tower publishing website, because we're going to be posting a video about that probably in the next day or two, about the current changes happening to Wizard Tower games. So everybody, have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year on behalf of myself and my wife, Tina.
Yep. Have a great time. Be safe.
Yep.
And see you probably next year.
Yep. And we will definitely see you guys next year. So everybody, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.